Hi guys, it's Sonelias and welcome back to this Let's Play of Hearts of Iron number 4. Let's note in the last saved game, which of course we're playing as the Netherlands, or rather... Right, as Leo Belgicus, what was the last thing we had done? Of course we've got a bit of a shortage here in terms of production. We've got slightly outdated equipment we're producing, which is the Ruiter class ship, which is down here. The only reason I'm still producing it is because it's partly on their way and it's basically due to be completed in a couple of months' time, 2 months' time to be precise. I got some decisions available, etc., etc. But what I've started doing here, I've started moving some troops towards the eastern front to try to move that along a little bit. Now, I am having some difficulty here, or at least it looks like there is some difficulty here. I'm not sure why they're not moving along this edge here, because they could go for Sevastopol quite easily there, it looks like. So as you can see, I'm trying to basically push through here, basically get at least towards the river, create a bit of a front there. So once Riga is in our hands, we get closer to Finland, of course, as well. Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff that we can still do and work on. This is the motorized general, of course. I'm going to edit this front line here. Try to bring it back even further. Alright, that's done. So this one should actually be heading to there, and then from there be starting to help out. At the moment, really, we should have all of these attacking here. That should be the idea. That is my hope, at least. Because he's currently being led by a German general, it looks like. Erich von Manstein. If only the Germans themselves were to be doing something here, that'd be great, wouldn't it? At the moment I am just putting everything into here and I'm suffering losses, which is not great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this unit set down here. I'm going to basically, of course, delete that front line there. I will set a new front line shortly. What is this? Hungary. It's a piece of Hungary that's cut off from the rest, which in itself is not a big problem. I'm just not sure how they're going to get supplies in there, that's the only thing. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see what's happening to our Marines. Our Marines are still over here. And these guys are not able to execute here. And these guys have got very, very similar problem, really. So let's move these guys maybe over here. I can use them there quite easily. These guys, of course, I have orders here in place, which theoretically I could use quite easily. Let's double check what's happening here in the Mediterranean. Now, what's that sea called here? Right, I got ships engaging here, of course, the enemy. It's one of my cruisers, my light cruisers, is engaging enemy convoys here, it looks like. As you can see, I've got a heavy cruiser and another heavy cruiser here as well. So where are these? These are operating over here in front of Iberia. Okay, cool. Unassigned units here, which is going to be motorized. So these motorized units here, at least these two, I can actually move to the front. Let's get these moving over here. On track. Okay. As you can see now, the Germans are on the defensive here, up here it looks like. Plus there's a little bit of offensive operations going on as well. No, nothing really major, but it is happening at least. I'm kind of hoping that if I'm able to push through here, I can actually distract them sufficiently to be able to, of course, create a bit more traction, a bit more movement along the entire lines there. Let's see if I can cross the ocean without getting the anger of the British or so to deal with. Do I want to see that? Probably not. Right, there's lots of engagements going on here, as you can see. I'm rather hoping I can escape them, otherwise I'm going to lose those units. Which would be a bit awkward, to say the least. Right, these units here are on their way. We had some victory here, it looks like. Nice. Okay. I'm going to increase the game speed a little bit. What are we doing in terms of research? We're working nicely on this, and of course here we are working on repairs. So if I look at my actual queue here, there's more stuff that needs repairs here. So basically repairing factories, as you can see. And I'm going to be busy for that for a little while. And I've already started production of new units here. I've got these military, or occupation force I've called them. And as you can see, I've got a fair number of them. And all of these are being produced here in various different locations. Not sure what I call them that, but okay. Marines are being produced, which again is still good. Right. Like I said, that looks pretty static. If I can move from there to there, that'd be great. I'm not sure, because this looks a little bit like a part of the sea, doesn't it? Ooh, they've basically closed that gap a little bit. So that little inlet that they had here, the Russians, it seems to have been pushed back, which is good. Alright, these, of course, should all be heading here. Let's select them all and just make sure they're all going to go here. Let's get these on the road as well. I'll get all of these units engaged there. Of course, the more I can actually get in the road, on the road, the better. And it looks like I have unfortunately lost some of my Marines here out at sea. Which, to be honest, it sucks. Right, so I'm basically going to try to replace those with brand new units. There's not much I can do other than that, but okay. Right, let's have a look at my navies again. So these two are going to be supplementing each other. That's good. Or supporting each other, maybe I should say. As you might remember last episode, I lost a fair amount of experience because I made an absolutely silly move in terms of what I did with my templates. Which of course it was not ideal. Well, let's stop that. Come on. Firstly, I need to basically of course get my Marines in. And then only after that do I get the other units involved. Because the Marines, of course, don't get that penalty. Or at least they get a lesser penalty when it comes to crossing a river. Yeah, so that penalty is far bigger there than the actual penalty here is. still significant enough to basically not let that be successful. So I'm going to do it the exact opposite way around. Due to attrition because of the mud. That is pretty high, isn't it? Anyways, an Italian general seems to be leading it. Which is fine. As you can see, some of my marine divisions are actually popping out here as well. Again, we're not having much luck here, are we? Right, let's see. How can we basically get this to change? If I move my units, so at least some of them over there. That would have a nice effect, I would say. Let's get them all into position, let's say, here. That would be nice. Okay, we're still operating at sea here. What's actually happening in Indonesia? Because Indonesia has gone to war as well, isn't it? As you can see, there is vigorous fighting going on along the different parts of the front here. Right. Can we support them? I guess so, to some extent or another. We seem to have cut them off from, well, we had cut them off from supplies. And they have retaken one of the ports here. Didn't really go according to plan. But again, so be it. Be there for now. Cool. Again, some of these we don't have control over, and again, some we do. If I look at this unit here, it is set to, of course, defend various different bits. Let's set it also to defend that Dutch East Indies section there. We're still operating here nicely, which is great. We're basically having some successes here at sea. We've got some losses at sea. But overall, I'm quite happy with those results. Alright, let's capture that. Out there, I guess. Cool. Special Forces program has been expanded, which is great. Now we are in 1941, so what can we do? No new weapons there, but we can of course upgrade our items here to mechanized. I think that'll be quite beneficial. Another successful naval battle here, again against convoys, which is fine. Convoys do need to be taken care of. Otherwise they're a big block of our potential path. Right, cool. We've got marines here. These three should be able to operate here quite nicely. And there is attrition there, and there's a supply situation there as well, it says. Why? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. I now know why. I need these guys here should be moving to there. And then from there we can attack. And this should already be quite successful. Lots of units with nice stats working there. So this is not really useful. These guys are kind of like wasting their efforts here. What could I do with them? I can maybe bring them up to... There's hills there. Let's bring them up to there. It's a bit up and down with those guys, isn't it? Ah well. Let's go back home. There's nothing really going on here as of yet. Now what we could do is we could of course deploy all these new guys that we've been working on. Whoa, okay. Lots of new marines being trained, which is of course to do with our expansion that we worked on. But of course these occupational units here, what shall we do with them? I probably want to make them part of a different or new unit type. It's the Germans I'm using here. Okay, so these guys here, these are really mostly Germans. If I move these back into this section here, so let's say that we're going to basically set this front line here. Let's set a front line here. Okay, so those should be heading there in that direction there. Same with these guys here, really. I will have overlapping front lines there, which is fine. Because yeah, here we seem to be steadily being routed, which is not good. I guess the Germans are deploying some of their troops further south, and I see massive troop concentrations down here, so that looks to be where they might have actually moved them to. But what I do need to do, I need to basically find some means of actually getting these troops here all to work together. Right. These guys here and these guys here, I could potentially put them all in that one army. There we go, one bigger army. And what I now need to do, of course, I need to basically tell them not to only defend what it is that they're defending now, also basically the Netherlands and the rest of the coast. The unit should be big enough. Now I do have, of course, all these new units here. Yeah, these guys here, these are what they call the Stellingen, but they see what they should be doing. If I'm not mistaken, at least. Are these comprised of... No. Oh, okay. I thought they were different types of units, but apparently not. Where are my new occupational forces? These are the ones I was looking for. Why have we still got... Ah, I'm producing the wrong type. That doesn't really help. So if you look at these are basically the same as what we had there. I need to add these quickly. And of course I need to have a spawn location here near, well, let's say not Walloons, make it Luxembourg. Marines will be coming out in Brabant. These two will in Friesland, and of course the infantry will come in. Well, let's make that Vlaanders. Eight, 9, make that 12. Yeah, so this one should be big enough to, of course, defend the entire front line there. Coastline, front line, whichever you want to make it. And maybe what I need to add to there is also, of course, that south coast section here. Got enough troops, I would say. 68 out of the total allowed. Alright, we're still producing that ship and it's getting closer to completion. It'll be completed in July, as you can see. In the meantime, are we having some luck here? No, not while we are still fighting here, or at least we were. These guys are suffering losses here as well, it looks like. Let's not do that. Let's do it like this. Let's get them to the front line there. We'll deal with that in a second. Let's attack from here. So we completed a bit of research here, and we're also going to do the same with the assembly line. Make sure we can upgrade that as well. The Russians are attacking there, which is fine. Let's create a offensive line here. I'm going to create an offensive line into there. At least I will be able to do something with that, I hope. Let's extend that line slightly. To cover that extra province there as well. Like they pushed through in one of these places here, which of course is not great, but it does happen. We don't want to be pushed back too far here, really. Moscow, of course, is an ultimate goal, but yeah, it's still a long way off. At least that's what it looks like. Right, construction. We're doing pretty okay here, I'd say. Again, there's a few factories that basically need to be repaired still further. We're working on that, so that's fine. Cool, I can modify my government. I can add something extra to here. Electronics or industrial, no. Infantry equipment, yeah, reduce the research time there, that's great. Not really interested in that too much. I can of course do my ship design bit. I can of course here also go for commerce raiding or decisive battles. Capital ship attack is improved. Concealment, air, okay. Motorized attack, mechanized attack. Alright, let's go for that cavalry option there. That's quite useful. As you can see, we got troops pretty much stationed along the entire coast here. It's one per province pretty much, or one per section there. So there's lots going on, as you can see. Cool. Unfortunately, we did lose some destroyers here, which is not great, but cannot be avoided always. Let's just take all of this into there. Let's try to basically deal with these guys here, because yeah, the longer they are there, the longer they can fester. It's Portugal, and of course we cannot do anything against Portugal. That? Have I occupied it? I'm not sure. It's my color for some reason, but it's like this state here. It's little flag down there that we should be looking at. Okay. Okay. Right. More success here. Continuously destroying convoys, which is great. We're almost at the point when we can actually get rid of that upgrade process. Did some of our factories get damaged? No, luckily not. Look at that, they're trying to invade. Of course, our troops quickly concentrate and help defend that against, of course, a Greek invasion. A Greek invasion of Normandy. Yeah, or Cherbourg. Not sure what they were thinking, but okay. The Greeks should maybe stick to their guns. The defenses here are now quite successful, it looks like. There's a stalemate here, it looks like. Let's see how we can help out in that. Maybe we can actually do a nice deed there. Convoys. It looks like we got a good enough number there to be able to maintain what we were planning here. China has capitulated. To whom? Japan. Okay. Ah, a Japanese protectorate. Interesting. That is quite interesting. So the Japanese, are they in our faction? No, they got their own faction. Great East Asia Co-Prosperity. Interesting. The US is not doing much yet. They've got volunteers in other nations, which is fine. Another invasion here. Ooh, again the Greeks trying to invade, in this instance, Zealand. Alright, lots of factories are out of commission, as you can see here. What's happening to our resources, our trade? Are we importing anything that we don't need to import? There is some imports here that we could seemingly reduce. Yeah, basically reducing the actual surplus that we have in there. It's quite useful. Lots of steel exports to the Dutch East Indies, amongst others. No one is actually importing our aluminum, which is a bit of a pity. Nice, completed that airplane. The Fokker G1 Wasp. Right, I probably want to start production of that. So if I set it to be the Fokker G1, this one, I probably want to invest some of my air experience into there as well. Alright, range is not necessarily, I could maybe invest a little bit in the range. That should do, I guess, at least for now. We're of course going to produce the Mark I version of that. Alright, let's get that show back on the road. Let's have a look at our actual repairs and everything. Yeah, we still got some other bits to repair here as well. At least our civilian factories are being repaired quite decently. pacily. And we just lost another one of these, unfortunately, which is a bit of a pity. I'll move it to below the other ones. I'll try to basically set the ones that have advanced already to some extent slightly above the other ones. At least we try to get as much efficiency there as possible. Our defensive actions are going quite well here, it looks like. Seems to be successful, I would say. Let's see what we can do here to basically put more pressure on there. Low supply, interesting. Air wings, okay, that is of course welcome. Japanese units en route. Okay, we lost the convoy there. More convoys of theirs destroyed. Always good to see that. Southern France. These two can again merge, so basically expanding that, it looks like. And that's of course that ship I basically had completed, which means I no longer need to produce this one here. It's the old design. We can go to the Mark III now. Right, should do the trick. Let's reduce that production slightly. Sumatra. What's happening to our actions here? Alright. Defenses are doing okay here, I would say. Just over here we can do with a bit more resourcefulness. Try to go for that. Is that Port Moresby? Or is that slightly further south? It doesn't actually list the name of the individual province, which is a little bit of a pity. Okay, we lost some more convoys, which is a bit of a pity again. We didn't have any luck over there at all. MP's been upgraded. Perfect. Now what else could we do? We are in 1941. Looking at our land strategy, we could of course upgrade this here. What will that do? Our support companies will improve. It's a lengthy one, isn't it? Needs to be done though. Japan declared war upon the Philippines. The piece of Hungary is steadily shrinking, it looks like. So Kiev is no longer in hands there. See what we can do by pushing. Ooh, the United States joins the Allies, which of course is not happy days. Most definitely not happy days. It should theoretically be successful. try to basically take on those guys there. At least move their focus onto our units. We almost won this part of the battle. For some reason, Heinz Guderian is leading the battle here. Okay, that's fine. Not a big problem with that. Not a big problem with that. We're going to have to basically call it a day shortly. These guys here are going to basically support the attack here as well. As you can see, it's an all-out push all of a sudden. What I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to basically race for that city. That basically creates a little bit of a cut-off section here. It means that those guys there should steadily wither and die. At least once you take that port as well. So that port becomes quite a crucial connection point there, so to speak. Alright guys, like I said, we're going to have to call it a day. The clock keeps on ticking. So guys, thanks again for joining me. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And I guess what I'll do, I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, take care. Bye-bye.